Hello everybody, Gail here. Well, as you can see, I have a quilt hung behind me. My husband put up all the bits and bobs, and I would have filmed before now, but we discovered if I have the light on, it blinds. I've just got white behind me, it blinds it out. So I've had to get up earlier and come into the shed in the daylight, which, you know, I don't like that much. So it's not too big a quilt. It's probably 60 inches square. In the middle is a very often put together star made with half square triangles. I've done it wrong. I found it totally confusing trying to work out which bit went where, so in the end I just sewed it together, and it's kind of, I can't tell you where it's wrong. Like, you see, I think that should be the other way up. But then again, that's the same as this bit at the top, although it's not. It's, well, on that side. I've done them all, not all the same. Anyway, it totally confused me. So I thought, oh, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to sew it together. It's more or less right. And this is the first thing I sewed on a sewing machine. Well, it's not quite true. I made my wedding dress on a sewing machine. And I've made some curtains on a sewing machine, and then I decided sewing machines were too scary. I mean, my wedding dress wasn't scary because that was a treadle. That went nice and slow. But the new machine I bought and made curtains on, sort of going long straight lines, but it went too fast, and it was the electric and too much like a dishwasher. I'm scared of those as well, and pressure cookers, all those sorts of things. So I bought a sewing machine 3 years ago, and it was in the box because I was too scared of getting it out. And then when I got it out, I didn't know what everything meant, even though I read all the instructions. So I watched a lot of YouTube videos on my specific machine many times, and eventually I was brave enough to make it go. And then I made a quilt, and this is the one I made. So this is all sewed together on my machine, and I have a border and a piece border, and these, they are raw edge applique with zigzag stitch all the way around. And obviously I did hundreds of them, well, maybe 100, and I didn't like that. I didn't like it being messy, so I did another border, and then the flowers that go around the outside I stitched by hand with the edges turned under. Obviously it's just a piece, a quilt top. I've not quilted it or anything yet, but it was what we had handy when we were seeing if the contraption that my husband has built would work. Needs a few adjustments. He's done it on you know, the thing with the bubble in to make sure it's straight, but it's not straight with my camera, is it? Maybe we'll have to make it unstraight. Maybe, mind you, the desk I'm on is not straight. My sewing desk is here to the side, but I'm sat at a big desk I've got second hand locally, made of wood, and it's got a big bow in the middle, like that. So that could have something to do with it. Maybe I should move. Oh, that's a bit straighter, isn't it? But then I'm not in the middle, but never mind. Anyway, if you have a mug of coffee in here on this bowed desk, you have to make sure it's not too full, because it is quite a bow, but it serves my purposes. I have lots of room to put things, and it doesn't affect my cutting out. I've got another table as well, so in total, well, there's 3 tables I use for sewing, and I've also got another table that's in the way really, but it was my grand's, so I have that here as well. So I went to the family party and made my jacket out of that lovely black shiny material. Yeah, but I didn't wear it, no. I took lots of clothes with me. I took my black top and my black skirt and a few other black tops, and a blouse that I usually wear open, and my newly made top. And when I put on my newly made top, it didn't look nice. I think I need something adding around the collar. It was just too stark. So I wore the pattern blouse, which, you know, most of my family have seen me wear, because that's what I wear when I go out, is this nice blouse that I wear open and black underneath. But then again, most of my family weren't there. It was far away, so my sisters and more local family. Didn't go, it was too far away. But it was all my cousins and my cousins' extended family. So it was nice seeing them and my nieces and nephews. Of course, I didn't talk to them much because I'm like the old auntie. I went round to my cousins the day after the party. And there was like, there must have been 12 people staying at her house. They all kept appearing. We went round for breakfast coffee, you know, before we left. And yeah, they were all in the pyjamas making themselves breakfast and things. Apparently there was a queue for the shower, so they came in it. Young people, you know, because my nieces are like 23, 21. And my nephews, they're 26, 28, something like that. But yeah, it was lovely. I wish I could have been there. We all should go on holiday, really, instead of just meeting up every now and then. And I've, you know, anyway, we had a lovely time down there. It wasn't a very nice drive. We got stuck in 2 hours of traffic jam, so it took us 7 hours to get there. And the hotel room was lovely, but the hotel wasn't too helpful. The party was far too energetic for me. There was Scottish dancing, Scottish reels and things going on, and you know, I can't do that. My knees are past it, my lungs are past it. It did remind me of when I was a child. When I was little, I used to go to barn dances with my grands and dance with old men. It reminded me of that. Yeah, barn dancing. Anyway, the food was lovely, the company was lovely. And then the next day we saw them all and had coffee and tea. And then we went to my daughter's and spent the day holding my newest grandson, and spent the night, and the next day woken up by her dogs, which I love. I love being woken up by her dogs. They all jump on the bed and lickety me, with me going, ooh, ooh. Anyway, it was too quick a visit. We went down on the Saturday, we came back on the Monday, and I've been pretty exhausted, really. It's a lot of concentration going down that much motorway. Because we weren't going directly to my daughter's, we usually go halfway on the motorway and then through the country for 100 miles. This time we went down the motorway, we went on the M6, then the M5, a bit of country, then the M4, and coming back we went on the M3, so I'm told. I was totally confused. I didn't think we were going in the right direction at all, but anyway, we got there. I have a story to tell about the hotel we stayed in, but first of all, I'm going to show you the fabric I've got this week. So the quilting group I'm in, and from now on I've got to work on the wall hanging. I might get to show you that in the next few weeks. That's got to be ready by March the 9th, I think. We're having an open day, shall we say, for the local community, our quilting group. We put up quilts so that people can be interested and might want to join our group. We put up things that we've made for sale. We provide tea and coffee and cakes, 50p, very cheap. And we all have to take things to sell in aid of our money raising, which goes to local charities. So I have spent, not too long really, a few hours, making pincushions with ribbons. I've made 10. So that's what I've done for now anyway. I'm sure I'll be doing something else at some point. And the wall hanging is going to be auctioned at our open day. So I've made all these. These are all nice. I was thinking of sewing some beads on, make them a bit more interesting. I thought they looked nice with the ribbons, but you know, some of the ribbons you can't even tell they're there, can you? I did them coordinating. I like this one. This one's my favourite one. My daughter says it's because it's purple, and I do like purple, but it's more of a burgundy. Anyway, there's a whole load of 10 pincushions there. If anybody needs a pincushion, come along to our open day. I'll put in the comments where it is. Now, I bought some material. And from my D-Stash group, of course. And we were on the motorway. We were at a services on the M5. And my phone said, there's someone at your front door. So I logged on and spoke to my postman who was delivering these fabrics. They were in a parcel that had come undone in the rain, because the rain was shocking. When we went down to the party, we started off in rain and we couldn't see because of all the spray on the motorway. And then we had an hour of snow, really blizzarding it was. And then we spent 2 hours in a traffic jam. After that it wasn't too bad, but gosh, it was a long drive. So These are the fabrics that have come, that somebody's destashed because they didn't want them anymore, and I said I'll have them. I'm not too keen on geometrics and checks, but there's a need for them when you're mixing. It, you know, you can't have all flowers or all swirly things. They're nice, aren't they? Now I'm spending longer holding them these because a friend of mine says she doesn't get to see the fabrics properly because I'm too quick. There's another geometric. This one's more green, this is more, I don't know, creamy burgundy. And this is like cross stitch pattern. And then I've got some nice brown. I like browns. I don't use browns, but I do like them mixed in with these sorts of old colours. So that's a nice collection, isn't it? I'll put them together. I don't know what I'm going to make with them. They'll go, you know, with all my other fabrics until I find something to do with them, or until I'm doing a project and I think, oh, and I just pick out one or two of them, as I do. So there they are. They're nice. I also bought this from a destash group. I had no idea. I do buy things without knowing, you know. I thought, oh, that's nice. It's fabric with ladybird fairies on, sort of. I had no idea the characters were so big, though. Isn't that cute? I thought I could make something for my granddaughter with this. So they're really big, you know, pictures. And I bought this. I thought I'd make something for my newest grandson. I got two of these lengths of dinosaurs. I don't know what I'm going to make. I can always sell them on. Now, I don't know if I've already shown you this. I don't think I have. Anyway, it's a great big piece of a lovely yellow colour, isn't it? Buttery. I don't know what I'm going to use that for, but I thought that looked lovely. And this is another great big piece because they were end of rolls. It's got bumblebees on it, can you see? It's got flowers and bumblebees. So that is waiting for a use. And I got this, which I think is part of the tree that I got the other week. I think it's part of that range. And I got some more border. You know, I said I thought I needed some more. Well, I got some. So I was pleased about that because I didn't want to be without. And I bought these from my lady that I buy my Moda from. She only sells Moda. To do, you know, the quilt that I'm making where I cut the middle out because I didn't like it and I've done an applique middle. I've decided to do some borders with some more applique, more flowers around the outside and make it into a nice big quilt that will keep us warm in the winter because my husband likes the quilts to hang over him and off the bed. So they need to be about 80 inches, which is a pain, but you know. Anyway, I bought off her all of these from the range that I've used in that quilt so I can do some applique flowers. But I've been disappointed today. I ordered some more of the fabric that's in the middle of this applique quilt. Let's see if I can find it because, you know, it's a big piece now, this. It's all folded up and there. Now this applique that I did in the middle, I decided to do my outside borders with more applique with this fabric. It's William Morris. And I've ordered, I think I've ordered 2.5 meters. Anyway, I got an email today saying it wouldn't arrive for 4 or 5 weeks. So that means April. So I'm not going to be doing very much of that quilt in the meantime, am I? Though I can get on with my peacock. I've got to do the legs and the borders. It's on the wall over there, you see, that's why I keep looking over there. I don't think I should show you until I've shown the quilt group though, so you'll have to wait. What else have I bought? I bought this. This was a pre-order that I'm going to try stop doing. And this is Paisley Rose. I'll show you some of the fabrics. Everything is a 10-inch square. I like 10-inch squares. You can do some nice quilts with 10-inch squares. The one on the board here behind me, that was done with 5-inch squares, which are normally called a charm pack. So I don't really like orange, but you know, I do seem to end up with a lot of orange things. Anyway, get through the orange. Let's get through the orange. We have lemons. And we're getting to... See, they're a bit orangey, even the lemons, aren't they? That's a nice one, I like that one. And then we get to some blues. So that will make a lovely quilt. So that's a 10-inch charm. That's 42 pieces measuring 10 inches each. So that will go with my other 10-inch charm packs. These just use bits of material that I bought 30 years ago that I'm never going to use. So I've used some of them up. I bought a pattern. I nearly bought this pattern. I got it off eBay and I nearly bought it for more money because I was bidding on it, and my husband thought it was ridiculous I was bidding £15 for a pattern. He's no idea what patterns cost. I mean, I've got hundreds of patterns. I don't really make anything. Anyway, I didn't win that because it went for about £22 because it's an old one that's out of print, and I just love the style. I mean, I don't know if I'm ever going to make it, and it probably won't suit me, but I think the style's lovely. Anyway, one came up and I snapped it up quick. So that's it. Isn't that lovely? I love the skirt. I love the neck as well. And I'd have to do sleeves. I don't know. Maybe not. But I've got plenty of floating materials that I can make that out of. So I was really pleased that I got that. Oh, and I've got a parcel here, which doesn't say who it's from. And I can't remember ordering anything. What sort of scissors are they? I think they're material scissors. So I'll use these little scissors because I've not opened it. I just brought it straight to my shed. Oh, this is the material I've bought for the quilting group because we are doing a joint quilt every other month for the next year or two. One of us is going to demonstrate a block, a technique, and people who want to learn how to make that block are going to join in and make their own block out of their own material. Now, all the demonstrator blocks we are going to put into a big quilt, so it'll be like a sampler quilt of lots of different designs, and we needed a material to tie them all together so that it looked like a cohesive planned quilt. I don't really like sampler quilts, but you know, I'm doing a block, I'm doing Drunkard's Path. Anyway, we decided we needed to buy some material that we could give every demonstrator a piece, so that each demonstrated piece that goes in the quilt that we're going to raffle went together. So I bought this fabric. I searched online for hours and hours and hours, and I found some I liked, and I showed the ladies on the committee, and they all liked it, so I bought it. Here it is. So there's lots of colours in there, isn't there? We could use the orange in one block and the green in another block, or is that blue? It's a teal. The purple, we could use yellow in one block, and this is going to be in every block so that it ties it all together. And I think I might have enough to do a border or even the binding in it. It's 60 inches wide and I got 3 meters, so it's quite a big piece, and it was good price. So I'm glad that's come. That's that done, because you know, I volunteered. I'll get the material, I said. Yes, I do things like that. So it's been suggested that I talk more about quilts rather than what goes on in my life. It's all intermingled, really, you know. Quilts are my life. It's what keeps me going, is making quilts. And if it needs sewing on the machine, I come in the shed. If it needs hand sewing, I go home across the garden and do it sat on the settee. I was going to do that that piecing, the applique around the quilt that I'm in the middle of. I'm going to have to... Oh, I've finished my blanket as well. I've just got the ends to sew in, so next time I can show you my crocheted blanket. That's enormous. That's going to keep me lovely and warm. In fact, it did last night. I'm just doing the final borders, and I've got to sew in the ends of my threads from the borders, and that will be finished. So I won't be crocheting for a while. Although I have got I've got to do my newest grandson a shawl collared cardigan in a size that will fit him, because all the ones I made when he was born are now too small. So that's been requested. And apart from that, I think I've shown you everything that I'm going to talk about today. I hope you like my display behind me. That's famous for me doing it on the machine, in my quilting group anyway, because they all thought it was ridiculous that I was frightened. But, well, it was really, but, you know, I'm not anymore. I whiz everything up on my machine. I like it. I know my friend Karen, she likes it. She lives in America. I see her yearly now because she keeps coming to see her mum. But for many years we didn't see each other. And you know, we used to phone each other in the days where you had to book a phone call, and you had to say something and then wait for their response. Otherwise, you talked over each other all the time. Mind you, it's a bit like that now because I often just talk all the time. Anyway, it's a nice day today with blue sky and everything. And when I came in, my heaters were on because they're timed to come on for 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon. So it's nice and warm in here. Oh, I do like soda water. Anyway, I think I'll leave you to it. I'll have to get on now with doing my peacock quilt, wool hanging, and getting it finished. So I hope you're all well, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.